What's up guys? Today I have the top 10 fighters in Kengan Ashura Kengan Omega. So I'm only including characters that we have seen have a full fight in Ashura or Omega, and this video was made around chapter 70 of Omega, so it's possible changes in the future when we see other fighters fight later on in Omega and see the true power of many of the other fighters on this list that they've improved over the 2-year time skip. Before the top 10, I'll go over some characters who would probably make this list if we saw them fight in Omega or Ashura. We have Gaio Mukaku, the creator of the Nico style person who tried uniting the inside and all that chadness. We got the First Fang, also the current elder of the Kuru Rain clan. Absolute beast, helped in the rise of Metsudo and everything about Metsudo. We got Takita Nico, the one who trained Oma. We got Yamashita's ancestor who helped rise up the Nogi clan at the start of the Kengan matches. We got Kuroki's master. We got various other Purgatory fighters who will probably reach the top 10 after they get their fight in the Kengan vs Purgatory tournament, such as King probably going to reach the top 10. We got the masked fighter that's involved with Worm and all that, Edward Wu, part of the Wu clan. And I'm also not going to be including various Fist of the Seeker characters as well, just going to leave it to Kengan Ashura and Kengan Omega. It's also important to mention that just because a character has a higher rank than another, it doesn't mean that he can't be defeated by someone with a lower rank. For example, someone that's below them may have a martial arts that hard counters them. A prime example for this is Wakasugi getting hard countered by Hatsumi-sen's soft base style. So that's just something to note, and doesn't always mean that they will be above on this list. Let me know your top 10 down in the comments as the video goes. Now, let's go. So one of the biggest issues for this top 10 was rank 4 to 10. The top 3 I was pretty confident about, and these are the top 3 in Omega, it makes perfect sense. But from 4 to 10, a lot of this could be changed around, and this is what I expect most of the debate down in the comments will be involving from rank 4 to 10. So at number 10, I decided to go with Ray, also known as the Lightning God, still one of the best nicknames in the whole series. His current age in Omega is 28. We haven't seen him fight in Omega, so we don't know if he's improved. So I'm just going to be going over his power level or how strong he was during Ashura. So I hope everyone can agree for this, but Ray is the fastest character speed-wise that we have in the Kengaverse, especially when he goes, simp love mode, whatever you want to call it, where I'm going to be using all the characters primed to, rank them. So it's going to be, for example, Hatsumi-sen, it's going to be him in peak condition when I'm going to be ranking him on this list, because of course he's going to be here. So for Ray, during the Annihilation tournament, he was able to defeat Nezu in the first round, 0 difficulty. Second round, he faced the likes of Saw Pang, where he was able to defeat Saw Pang about mid difficulty, pretty good. He got a win prior to the Annihilation tournament as well, which is something good to mention. And then his one loss was in the third round against Kuroki Gensai, where he was able to do pretty well against Kuroki Gensai. He was no means of winning, because Kuroki Gensai is just the peak of the Chad tier. It's you can't even touch Kuroki Gensai. He entered simp mode. We saw his insane speed, and only because Kuroki Gensai was able to predict and all his knowledge, he was able to counter Ray's speed. And with this speed, he has decent power as well, being able to strike in an extreme, with extreme accuracy at vital points on the head and various other parts of his body. With these other various techniques, is giving him an extreme advantage over many characters that can't have insane foresight or don't have the tankiness to survive such an insane powerful attack at that type of speed. At number 9, I decided to go for Kiriyu Setuna, also known as the Beautiful Beast. Current age is between 26 and 28. We got nothing really confirmed. Got 2 Kengan wins. First win was during round 1, where he was able to defeat Kuru Rain. 1 win prior to the Annihilation tournament, who he defeated a top up-and-coming competitor who had a lot of wins. And then 1 loss also against Kuroki Gensai, this time in the second round. So when comparing the Ray's and Kiryu's matches against Kuroki Gensai, I'll faithfully say that Kiriyu did better. He was able to do more damage. And for me, I think he faced a stronger and a lot more serious Kuroki Gensai, because Kuroki Gensai wanted to somewhat get revenge for Kiriyu killing one of his old friends who was Kiryu's master, and Kroki had history with him. So wanted to really get revenge against him, so he just, put that boy down. The reason I put him so high is because, or reason I have him in the top 10 where he is because he is pretty much Hack's abilities. His Toei style is Hack's with, Blink, the Rakshasa Palm, which in my opinion is one of the strongest techniques in the whole series. And combined with that, he has many elements of the Nikko style. His mastery of the Nikko style isn't at the level of Arima or the Tokita Nikkos, but he has a pretty grounded level with it, and he can combine the Nikko style techniques with the Koei style techniques to become an absolute monster, with his main pretty much point giving him so much power is these techniques combined together being so deadly. And he also has a secret technique, the secondary secret technique of the Nikko style, called Fallen Demon, which allows him to increase all his base stats, but it does have drawbacks of him going a little bit more insane. Kiriyu, while sane and is being calm, is a much stronger fighter, but once he goes insane, he probably doesn't stay in the top 10, probably gets kicked out. But as I said, I'm using peak condition fighters, so Kiriyu, in sane, logical thinking, he's able to hold number 9 spot for me. At number 8, we have Gaolang, also known as the Thai God of War. His current age in Omega is 30, his Kengan wins is 1, and Kengan losses is also 1, where he was defeated by Kano Agito in the second round. He was also defeated in the first round of the Purgatory tournament due to a ring out against Carlos Medel, but if it was a Kengan match, Gaolang would absolutely stomp him, pretty much got defeated with 0 damage taken, only lost due to the Purgatory rules. We all know that, we're all disappointed about that. Onto his power and abilities. So from Ashura to Omega over the 2 years, as you know, he got his hand broken in his fight against Kano Agito. A very tough fight, my personal favourite fight we've had thus far in the series. Very good, but he was able to barely lose against Kano Agito, where he pretty much got his hand shattered by his elbow in the very last second, an intense moment during the fight. Then over these 2 years, he's been doing partial training on this hand to make it stronger than ever, where it can't be broken ever again. And this is now one of his most powerful techniques, the God Glow, which has immense power and speed, able to destroy boulders with absolute ease. He's a world-renowned champion at boxing. He's also a world-renowned champion using Muay Thai, and he's able to combine both of these techniques together to become a very powerful force, which is just insane to think about. Gaolang, I wanted to put him higher, but I just feel that the boxing element and the Muay Thai element kinda doesn't compare to some of the other martial arts that the other fighters have in the Kenganverse, and how hacks a lot of them are. He has insane speed as well, one of the fastest characters in the series as well, and he also has pretty decent up there near the top for when it comes to foresight and being able to predict his pretty much opponent's abilities, as shown when he faced Carlos, being able to work at Carlos pretty fast without taking really any damage, and then go in and get that big powerful hits on him. In 7th place, we have Hatsumi Sen, also known as the Floating Cloud. His Kengan wins is 43, defeating the likes of Bando, Wakasuki in the past as well, being defeated by Kano Agito and various other 14 or 15 losses that were pretty much him not in peak condition or not showing up in general. Him in peak condition is one of the strongest, as we know, current rank 7 that I have from him, one of the strongest in the series. Mainly due to his ability to not be predicted, or pretty much hard countering foresight, being a master of Aikido, being praised by many other fighters, being able to defeat Wakasuki with ease, but this is mainly due to Wakasuki being pretty much countered by his soft style, or being countered hard by soft styles, and that was pre-Blastcon and everything around that. But still, Hatsumi Sen, a very powerful opponent. People tend to downplay him because he got kind of destroyed in the 3rd round by Kano Agito, but you have to remember this is a Kano Agito that has evolved multiple times, and Hatsumi Sen pretty much prepared for the Kano Agito that came out of the fight against Gaolang, where he evolved 2 times during that fight, I believe, and he was prepared to fight that. But you have to mention that even after that, Kano Agito evolved again when he had to fight a previous Bang to hold the position as Matsuda's representative during the Annihilation tournament, which made him even stronger. And Hatsumi Sen didn't expect this type of Fang to come out with this type of strategy and everything like that, and was good, pretty much hard countered by him. And also, when Hatsumi Sen is in peak condition, he's actually one of the hardest characters to land a direct pretty much attack in, being able to, dodge everything, parry everything, block everything that comes at him, and then, come back with a more powerful attack and his body his opponents. At number 6, I decided to go for Julius Reinhold, also known as the Monster. Kengan wins is 52 wins, and then Kengan losses is 1 during the Annihilation Tournament against Wakatsuki. At the recording of this video, the fight between him and Towamuto from Purgatory is about to begin, so after that we're going to see what Julius Reinhold is truly capable of. During the 2-year time skip, from what we know is that when he talked to Wakatsuki, showing that he has improved his strength even more, assuming that he doesn't really have any new technique, just has more power, more speed, and there's more insanity going into his raw power. And also in the latest Omega chapter, Purgatory fighters recognize that Julius is a man who could defeat both Kano, Agito, and Wakatsuki if the right pretty much a time occurred and he was in peak condition, everything like that, showing that he is a top Kengan fighter and a very powerful threat. One of the strongest, if not the strongest, like top 2 strongest physically characters we've seen thus far in the whole series. At number 5, I decided to go for Kuru Rain, also known as the Devil. Has 1 Kengan win against Robinson in the first round of the Annihilation Tournament, and 1 Kengan loss against Takita Oma in the second round. So over the 2-year time skip, we've seen that Rain has pretty much changed a lot. He is more stable, not like as insane. Still has, his murderous intent and everything that we all love about Kuru Rain, but he's not as insane and a bit more calm and probably more tactical as well. He was also shown using Kuru Clan secret techniques when his battle, him and Oma were facing Worm and all that stuff, which were shown to be one-shot kills. His removal is pretty much the top of the Kuru Clan, part of their selective breeding they did to create this absolute monster, which is Kuru Rain. It was mentioned that Wakatsu or Kano mentioned during Ashura, take this with a grain of salt, because this isn't like 100% confirmed. This is just something that Kano mentioned during Ashura, is that Kuru Rain and Julius are 2 people that outclass Wakatsuki, which is just something good to mention, but that was pre-knowledge of Blast Core and all that, so that's just something to note. And he was also shown during Ashura being able to manhandle Ray pretty easily when they had like a little scuffle. Ray tried attacking and Kuru Rain was able to pretty much stop him or like wreck him before the whole fight or the fight that was about to begin was stopped. So that's just something good to note as well. And this is based how he's most likely been training alongside Oma over the last 2 years. He's probably improved immensely in this every attribute with his removal, going against the advance and everything like that. I wanted to put him in 4th place, but for now I'm just going to leave it in 5th place. I think this is a good spot for Kuru Rain and I'm happy with it. At number 4, I decided to go for Wakatsuki, also known as the Wild Tiger, having the most Kengan wins of all time, which is 309 wins and 3 Kengan losses. 2 Kengan losses prior to the Annihilation Tournament, one by Kano Gito and another one by Hatsumi Sen, and then one during the Annihilation Tournament in the semi-finals against Takita Oma. His current age in Omega is also 42. So Wakatsuki is probably the strongest physical character we have in the Kengan-verse, with one of the strongest, if not the strongest special technique in the Kengan-verse, known as Blast Core, which has insane power. His power comes from his abnormally high muscle density, which is stated to be 52 times higher than the average. And with his size, as we know, Julius weighs in the 200 kilogram range. Wakatsuki also weighs almost 200 kilos as well, with him being a lot smaller, muscles not as big, and this is only due to how dense his muscles were. In his fight against Mutaba stated his heart jab isn't able to penetrate Wakatsuki's muscle. That's why he had given up the fight and pretty much like, nope, fuck this, I'm out. With various feats showing that when he was 20 years old, like he's almost 40 now, or he's 42 now. When he was 20 years old, he was able to make massive holes in mountains by punching it. So 20 years later, you can just assume how much power he has in his fist. And it's also stated that his regular punches, like jabs and stuff, are considered knockout blows for all the other fighters, or like that's how much power would be in a knockout blow from all of them. It's just his regular punches, and then with the Blast Core, which is just insanely powerful. That's why I have Wakatsuki at rank 4. So at rank 3, I decided to go for Kano Agito, also known as the 5th Fang of Metsudo. His age is unknown. His Kengan wins is 160. Kengan losses is 1, where he was defeated by Kuroki Gensai during the Annihilation Tournament. He's probably the best all-around fighter we have in the whole series, being able to adapt to his opponent's fighting style and tends to copy them and try and beat his opponents in their own fighting style. Such in the first round of the Annihilation Tournament facing Okubo, he would try and pretty much go with the flow, everything that Okubo used, and in the second round he tried to defeat Gao Lang using strikes only. Even though that failed, him had to go to other stuff. He just tries to copy everyone's prime ability and tries to beat them at their best thing, which is just respectable. He also has his formal style, which makes it very hard for him to read, and this can't be matched when he enters formal style. He's able to evolve mid-fight, get stronger and stronger as the fight goes on. As he gets weaker and weaker, he can evolve and become stronger than what he was during the start of the fight. This happened multiple times during the Annihilation and was the main reason why he was able to wreck fully prepared Hatsumi-sen. He didn't expect him to evolve again outside of the Kengan matches. He has powerful techniques such as the Dragon Shot, which is a variation of the 1-inch punch. He also has pretty much Nico style abilities such as Indestructible. And when seeing Oma fight, he noted that the Nico style Oma uses is different to the one he knows, which is just something to mention. We haven't seen him fight in Omega, but he seems to be more sane in Omega, which may increase his ability to read his opponents and foresight and everything like that. As in Ashura, he was a little bit insane, a little bit going crazy throughout most of his matches. He's also considered the emperor of the Kengan matches, which is just insane to think about and really shows his strength. So at number 2, I decided to go for Takita Oma. If it was prior, or if I was doing a top 10 strongest in Ashura list, I'll probably have Kano Gito at number 2, but now in Omega, I feel safe with putting Oma in number 2 instead of Kano. Also known as the Ashura, his current age is assumed to be late 20s, so around 28 or possibly 30, around that range. His Kengan wins is 7 and 1 Kengan loss in the final against Kuroki Gensai. Prior to that, he was able to defeat the likes of Kuru Rain and also Wakatsuki in the round before that, which is just insane to think of. And he also defeated Kiriyu Setsuna outside of the Annihilation Tournament between all of this as well. In Omega, we thought he died, but as we know, he got a heart transplant and all that stuff, which kept him alive. Being able to use the advance now in Omega more freely without the same drawbacks that he got during Ashura, bringing him on the brink of death every time he used it. Now he's fine with using it. He's most likely trained with Kuru Rain and the Kuru clan over the last 2 years, being able to, take 3-on-1 of the other Kuru members onto him and deal with them with relative ease as well. Being able to destroy various worm members with absolute ease. Getting respect from all the other fighters as well. Getting respect from Kuroki Gensai in their fight during that. He has one of the most hacks abilities in the whole series, all martial arts, which is the Nico style, with him being a master of that. And then add on top of that the advanced, the possessing spirit, giving him this insane speed, insane power, insane endurance, is everything about him. He has, protagonist, main character, armor and everything like that. So at number 2, I would decide to go for Takita Oma. And then at number 1, the strongest in the Kengan Omega, we have the almighty Ninja Master, Kuroki Gensai, also known as the Devil Lance, or, the Almighty Beard. His current age in Omega is 53, his Kengan wins is 5. So, he only defeated, first round defeated Ryuto, second round defeated Kiriyu Setsuna, third round defeated Rei, fourth round Aya defeat Kano Gito, and then the final defeats Takita Oma. That's just insane to think about. He defeated all these other people who were in the top 10 of this own list. You've got to respect that. The Almighty Beard, the strongest in the Kengan verse, absolutely insane. The master of the K1 style, being able to counter everyone with just his devil lance, with his big brain energy. This insane, has all these techniques, has all this knowledge, being able to predict, insane foresight, being able to stand still, deal with characters that are a lot faster than him just due to his foresight. Number 1, the Almighty Beard, Kuroki Gensai. And that's the top 10 strongest in my opinion so far in Omega, and what will most likely change in the near future. So hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, subscribe, join the Discord, all that good shit. And that's it guys. Peace.